Hi, and welcome to Day 2 of Salesforce's Release Readiness Live for Spring 17. Thanks for joining us, whether you're able to join us for some of our sessions yesterday, or if this is your first time with us. I'm Mike Torres, and it's great to be here as we take a look at some of the greatest features and developments that our Sales Cloud has to offer. Now, as a final point, we are going to be looking at some of our product roadmap items today. So to properly set our expectations there, let's review Salesforce's forward-looking statement slide. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this slide, it urges Salesforce customers to remember, Salesforce is a publicly traded company, and any and all purchasing decisions should be made entirely on currently available functionality only. Simple as that.
So hey everybody again, my name is Raj, I'm a product manager on Sales Cloud Einstein, and there you go. So many of you heard about Einstein for the first time at this past Dreamforce, and I'm excited to announce that we are officially GAing Einstein in Spring 17 release. Einstein is bringing artificial intelligence to the #1 CRM platform. And first off, I want to thank all our pilot and beta customers over this past year. Your feedback, your engagement really actually helped shape this great release. And Einstein is really helping your sales team be more productive, sell smarter, all the way from lead to cash. And within Einstein, you'll see things such as predictions, key insights, as well as automation. And Einstein has 4 key features. The first key feature is predictive lead scoring. Predictive lead scoring helps your sales teams focus on the best leads that are going to convert into opportunities. Einstein uses machine learning, and it analyzes historical lead conversion patterns and assigns scores to open leads that fit these patterns. These scores will show up in list views, they'll show up on the record pages, as well as if you're in marketing or if you're in sales op, you can actually use scores in reports. So you can use it to see your lead score health. You can actually use it to see how you can better improve your campaigns or marketing strategies. Another key feature of Einstein is automated activity capture. As the name implies, we will automatically capture all your emails and your meetings for your customers. You know, Mike, I spent 5 years in sales, and I absolutely dreaded re-logging all my customer activities during the day. So with this feature here, you will automatically see any of your emails with your leads or your contacts within the Lightning experience. You'll see it within the activity timeline, which is available on the contacts, the account, opportunity, and lead records. In addition, another key feature of Einstein is opportunity insights. Sometimes you just need a little bit of help on your deal. Sometimes you just need Salesforce to help you get through the next phase of your deal. So opportunity insights is exactly doing that. It's giving you key deal predictions, it's giving you smart follow-ups, or even key moments in a deal, such as when a competitor is mentioned. Opportunity insights is available on the opportunity page, within list views, as well as on the home page. And last but not least is account insights. Account insights help you manage your relationships better with your account. What this does here is Einstein will actually proactively alert you when a key business development business development event happens, such as a merger acquisition on your account, or potentially your account might be expanding. These are all great conversation starters with your customers to drive your deals forward. So that said, let me switch to the demo. Okay, so the first feature I wanted to highlight is predictive lead scoring. So here you can see all my open leads in my leads list view, and we show you a predictive lead score right next to your lead. And if you click over or hover over your lead, you can see exactly why a lead received a high score. You know, Einstein is not a black box. We're really trying to be transparent and tell you why you received a score. Here you can see that Jim is a good lead, and these are all positive factors based on your data, such as the city's Louisville, the industry's retail, or the lead sources coming from Jigsaw. Maybe if you look at a lower scoring lead, such as Sarah, you can see all the predictive factors of why she is a low scoring lead. For example, her industry's insurance, some of the fields are blank, like the rep didn't add in annual revenue. So these are all things that Einstein is intelligently able to predict based on your data. So let's go back to this lead of Jim Thomas, who's a good lead. And here you're on the lead record. And right here, you're going to see Einstein again on the lead record. We're trying to make Einstein sticky. We're trying to make it part of the entire sales experience. And it looks like, you know, Jim's a pretty good lead. So I'm going to email Jim. And I like to email personally from my Gmail app or my Office 365. So I have Jim's email ready to go. I say, hey, let's connect sometime. And I'm going to send that to Jim. And if I go back into Lightning, and I just quickly refresh this here, you will actually see that email I just sent right here in my timeline. So what we're trying to do here is reduce the logging. I'm sending from my Gmail, and it's actually appearing within Salesforce. A really good way to save some time and be productive. And if I refresh the feed here, as I refresh the feed here, you will actually see that Jim has responded back. He says, yes, I'm happy to meet. How about 2 p.m.? And now if I go back into my inbox, you can see Jim's email right there. So no matter what my context is, whether I'm in my email app or Lightning, all my emails and meetings are captured. A really good way to save time and have a 360-degree view of your customer. So let's shift gears a little bit. I want to focus on all my open deals right now. And one of the key open deals I have right now is Sirius Corporation. And I've been stuck on this deal, and I don't know why I've been stuck on this deal. And Einstein's actually going to help me understand why. It looks like this opportunity is unlikely to close in time. And once again, Einstein is not a black box. It's actually telling you why. It looks like that based on a recent email that the legal team has raised some questions. Maybe a bit of a red flag, maybe something I should think about as I approach this customer. In addition, another key insight is that a competitor was mentioned in a recent email. And what we're doing here, for all the techies out here, what we're really doing here is we're really using sophisticated machine learning, and we're actually looking at email sentiment. Every time you communicate with your customer, there's so much great sentiment within your emails and your meeting that Einstein's able to actually understand and use that with the historical CRM data and really generate some key insights within Lightning. In addition to seeing insights on your opportunity record, you can actually see your insights directly in a list view. So if you're going to be working your leads on a daily basis, you can quickly hover over each one of these insights and kind of get a quick snapshot of what's going on. Another key feature of Einstein, as I mentioned before, is account insights. So let's say, I got some free time and want to kind of do some business development on some of my key accounts. Einstein is actually telling me on this account here that this company is expanding. Well, this is great. This might be a great opportunity to sell more product or my services within this account. You can see directly what are the key news articles that it's informing me about that. And one of my favorite new features about Einstein is the new Einstein component on the home page. What you're seeing here is actually Einstein come together really nicely. We're bringing all these great predictive insights and predictive scores directly onto my home page, in which if I wake up, if I start Salesforce every day, I can quickly look at all my key insights, I can see all the key reasons, and I can take quick action directly from Lightning. So we're pretty excited for the new Einstein experience on Lightning.
Well, speaking of our trailblazers, Elna, what are they saying?
Well, of course, the biggest question is Einstein included, or is it an add-on? Does it cost extra? So if you could address that, just so everybody knows what to do if they're interested in Einstein.
Yeah, that's a good question. So Einstein is it's an add-on. It's available at an additional cost. We'll be releasing more pricing details as we get closer to launch in mid-February.
Great. And how does Einstein score relate to the Pardot score? If people are using Pardot and they're scoring leads there, do they talk to each other, and how does that work?
Yeah, that's a good question. So Einstein uses data science to generate scores. So we look at historical lead conversion data, and then we base the scores on that. Pardot score is based on rule-based scoring, so you can determine which are the right kind of rules to produce a score. We are working together as a product organization to figure out what's the best way to migrate Einstein scoring within kind of the Pardot product. One of the key things actually on our roadmap is we want to enhance predictive lead scoring with all your Pardot engagement data. So anytime a customer comes to your website, they may open an email, all those key attributes will actually affect the predictive lead score.
And speaking of the intelligence of Einstein,
Yeah.
how does it know who your competitors are? That's from Paul.
Yeah, so it knows your competitors. So we obviously look at the emails, and based on those emails, we have kind of a database of all the different companies available out there, and we're able to do some cross-referencing to determine that.
And there's a shout out from Alex saying, must love Einstein, an AI feature that can automatically capture all emails and calls made to the customer. I have goosebumps. And speaking of capturing activities automatically, one person was wondering, I think it was Randy, how does that affect your storage capacity or your storage limits? Actually, it was Carol, sorry.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again?
Carol was wondering, if you're capturing all those emails, what does that do to your storage limits or ability to retain all those without maxing out there?
It actually doesn't impact your storage. We're actually just presenting those emails directly, emails and meetings directly within the Lightning experience.
Oh, so they still live in your email, but they're surfacing in Salesforce?
Correct. We're kind of referencing them within the experience.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So what about the attachments that are there? Do they stay in your email?
They stay in their email, and it's a view within to those attachments.
So they don't actually get added as files in Salesforce?
That's something that we're considering in our roadmap, and I can actually follow up with that question with one of our product managers.
Right. Yeah, because I think the key thing is if they're files, then they would count against the storage, right?
Yeah.
So, but if they're not doing that by default, then you don't have to be worrying all of a sudden about cleaning up your org if you turn this on, right?
And then let me follow up with one of the product managers that work on that, and he can help clarify that.
Okay, perfect. Oh, more things are coming in. Can you configure what it considers when it's scoring records? And that's from Tara. She's very excited, by the way.
Yeah. Well, so Tara, the way Einstein works is we actually look at all your standard and custom fields. So you don't really need to tell Einstein necessarily what's important to you. We'll be basing mathematical models on what is kind of successful lead conversion. A longer term for Einstein, we are thinking about configuration. A good example of configuration may be, I have a custom lead conversion process. I go from lead to custom object. So you can actually tell Einstein, that's your business process, and help me optimize my scores for that process.
And I think that's one of the reasons why something you said is so important. Einstein's not a black box. We're trying to be transparent with everything so that if you don't understand why there's a discrepancy between one score and another, Einstein will surface those considerations so that you can make up your own mind on the suitability of each score.
Correct.
I think it's a bit of a mind shift, because
it is.
admins are out there going, no, Einstein doesn't know better than I do, right? So it's a matter of, can you trust it to know the same exact thing that you would probably manually configure if you didn't have it, right?
Yeah. And one of the great things about Einstein is we're going to provide you some out-of-the-box reports with Einstein. I actually didn't show it, but one of the key things for lead scoring is we actually provide you a report to show you that for your higher scoring leads, so any lead from 80 to 100, those leads will actually have a higher conversion rate than your lower scoring leads. So these are kind of key things that we're going to be enabling for our customers to build more trust with Einstein. And Einstein really is to help augment your sales cycle. It's really helping you to kind of discover new insights, discover new ways to be more productive, and really kind of help you guys move forward in your business process.
Yeah, I mean, if you're following a really a very prescriptive lead scoring methodology, let's say a particular, there are several methodologies out there.
Yeah.
And like BANT, I think, was one of them, and so if you could still use that in custom fields or whatever customizations you have set up to calculate those scores independently of Einstein. So you basically get Einstein on top of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, in our pilot for lead scoring, for example, we had a lot of customers that ran Einstein kind of side by side with the rule-based scoring, and quite often what we saw is Einstein lead scoring was actually better than the rule-based scoring. Because rule-based scoring, you have to invest a lot of time. You have to constantly update it. You have to constantly look at your data. You got to constantly look at your leads. Einstein's doing all that for you. We're looking at your data. We're looking at patterns of success. We're looking at patterns of failure, and it's adjusting kind of on the fly for those things.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see for customers who already have lead scoring set up to compare, is Einstein or the older process doing a better job? It'd be very easy to compare, right? Just
it's very easy.
See which ones convert more often.
Correct.